Welcome to my review of Ready to Love Season 3, Episode 3. Thank you for clicking on the link. We are here to enjoy the season together. Who has been your favorite cast member so far? Well, so far, they have let go of Khalil and Christian. I wasn't really feeling Khalil. He kind of seemed very introverted, although I am introverted too. Nothing is wrong with that, but he was a bit boring. Christian, however, although he too was introverted, I kind of wish they had kept Christian just a little bit more to see the dynamic of how he acts, in terms of other men who are on the cast that are a lot more aggressive than him. Because although people like to believe that aggressive or assertive men tend to be the ones who end up with women, in some instances, there are some women who prefer men who are less assertive. So I kind of wish they had kept Christian just a little bit more. There was this other guy who was talking to the lady who was an air hostess or whatever, flight attendant, whatever you call them. But that guy I really wasn't liking either. I don't remember his name offhand, but I'll get to it. Now we see the ladies walking up to attend brunch with the guys, and just from what I'm seeing, I think Venetia is a very voluptuous, sexy woman, but somehow her spirit seems not to be very confident about herself. Chrysanthemum, I see where the guys are really feeling her, but I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with Chrysanthemum's skin color. Yeah, I said it, yeah. A lot of black men tend to go for light-skinned women. But despite all of that, let's see what happens down the road. Now, is it just me, or does Alexis remind you of New York from Flavor Flav? I don't know, just asking. Now, every time I see Troy, my skin just crawls for no reason. Even before he opens his mouth, there's just this smirk on his face that I just cannot stand. But anyhow, in this episode, we get to see that Troy is like a manipulator. He knows what to tell women, what women want to hear. We all know these types of men who go about telling you what you want to hear in order to get what he wants. So obviously Troy doesn't want to leave the show as yet. So he goes around and he makes or tells, not necessarily effective, but he tells all the women what he thinks that they want to hear in order for him to stay on the show. This is just, so repulsive to watch. It's on the date with AJ. Alexis, you chat too much, girl. Shut up. No, when you're in a relationship, and sorry, before you even get to the relationship stage, you meet this person, and in meeting the person, the first thing that you put forward to that person is an idea about having sex with them. Do you think that such a relationship where sex is at the front of the relationship, that those relationships will survive, or that those relationships will mature into more adult conversations? I'm sure if you continually pushing sex into your conversations when you meet people, you're not going to get to really know them. And I think that is what AJ is trying to say during this date with Alexis. Jason and Kyra. I think I'm kind of liking the vibe between the two of them, and I'm seeing where this can actually grow into something more serious. In the first episode where Kyra met Jason, you could see where both of them were kind of into the other, but he was kind of more controlled in how he was dealing with her in terms of, being all up in her face. With the exception of the fact that when he first saw her, he pulled her away from the persons who she was amongst. That was a bit being assertive. But then after he took her to the side, he was a bit more calm and controlled, which I like because he seems to be very sociable. But he kind of, held it down. So to see the two of them now going on a date together, I am liking it. Look at his face. He's smiling from ear to ear. And so is Kyra. So I'm hoping to see that this relationship develops into something more committed. Yes, I can totally see Joel and Venetia being a couple. I can totally see that. Liz, you're nice, but I don't see you and Joel, matching. I don't see that. But Vernisha seems to be a mature, grown woman. Joel seems to be a very serious, fun-loving, attractive man. And I think both of them having kids and being grown, that they make a very good match together. Now, this date here with Kyra and Jason being amongst other people, I'm really interested in seeing what really happens. Chris, the guy from the season before, I like him a lot. I really do. And Alexis, I see where him and Alexis probably is a very good fit. I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think between Chris and Alexis? If they would make a very good couple. But I see where the two of them could probably have a thing going. But we'll see later on down in the episodes if this really materializes. But this date right here with all these people, with AJ, Kyra, Chris, Alexis, in the same room, I'm interested to see what happens. Aww, such a wonderful scene to see Joel and Jason interacting with each other. How Joel actually offered to help Jason. And it's very important to understand that love is not just something that exists amongst opposite sex, in the sense that you love your spouse. If you're a man, you love a woman, or a woman loving a man. But you can also experience love within your same sex group, meaning you're a man and you have a male friend and you love your male friend, or you love a female friend. People kind of just let it seem as though you have to express emotions only when you're in a romantic relationship, and that is so far from the truth, right? So to actually see Jason and Joel, sharing how they both were appreciative of the assistance that one gave over to the other. And, the entire group coming into agreement to say, we have to show appreciation or respect for each other and try to look out for one another. That was something, good to witness on TV. And it also goes to show that Joel's character and Jason's character, in that Joel didn't seem cocky about the fact that Jason was, giving him a compliment amongst these men. He was, in fact, very humbled and began to cry. And it was also big of Jason to actually pass the compliment on to Joel. The fact that he was able to see that this person having stepped out of his comfort zone to come and help him was something to be acknowledged and to be recognized. Speaks also to Jason's character. So a win-win for both of them. Man, I think they just need to send Andrea home. I did not like the conversation that she was having, as I stated earlier, with that guy. I can't remember his name. That brown guy need to go home too. But anyhow, Andrea, that flight attendant, she's delusional. She wants to have a family, and at the same time, her job being a flight attendant is to take her away from the home, how many days of the year. And the guy was kind of telling her, like, well, if you want to get married and you want to have a family, then that means you might have to quit your job. She didn't want to hear that. She was just saying, like, this guy not gonna tell her what to do or whatever. But I mean, if you want to have a family and want to be away from your family, the two just don't go together. So the guy was right to say that he wasn't feeling her. I wasn't feeling her either, even though I don't really want that real, you know. But I mean, girl.